Make sure to like the video, subs to the channel. Let's grow together. Today is one of those days I'm going to hit leg day. My leg play is usually very simple. High intensity, I'm going to use the dumbbells. And before that, I usually do some little warm up. I do some little warm up with my legs, just to keep myself going. Welcome to the live. How are you doing? What's going on? I'm doing some little warm up to get a pump, in my arms. My arms are getting smaller. I'm just getting the pump in. This exercise is for the arms and legs too. Naruto said hello. How are you doing, Naruto? What's going on? How are you feeling? Welcome to the live, guys. Welcome to the live. What's going on? White editor said hello. How are you doing, white editor? What's going on? Mayor Broman said hello. How are you doing, Mayor? What's going on? What's going on? How are you doing? Volleyball Delisi. That's a turkey flag right there. White editor says, bro, 10 pushed, please. You want me to do 10 push-ups? Let me get 10 likes and then I'm gonna get 10 push-ups for you. 10 likes and then I'm gonna do 10 push-ups. Push-ups are easy, guys. Push-ups are easy. Right here with me I got dumbbells. These are just the little dumbbells. I'm trying to get a pump. I have heavier dumbbells right here. I got heavier dumbbells, 40 kgs. Pedro says hello. How are you doing, Pedro? What's going on? Volley Waldesi said hi. How are you doing, Volley the boss? White editor says 10 push-ups. Okay, just for you. I'm gonna do 10 push-ups for you. For white editor. 10 push-ups for white editor. 10 push-ups for white editor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 push-ups. Those are for you. Are you satisfied with editor? Alright. Pedro, welcome back. Welcome back, my bro. Wait, editor is saying 100 push-ups. 100 push-ups. Alright, I'ma do them. 100 push-ups ain't that hard. Let me know where you're watching me from, wait, editor. Where are you watching me from? Where are you watching me from? Wait, editor. 100 push-ups is easy. How many push-ups can you do? Concurrently, continuously. How many push-ups can you do? Wait, edit. Wait, editor says 10 pull up. Wait, editor says 10 pull up. I got this, guys. This is 40 kgs. Alright. And that's actually pretty much heavy, you know. I'm gonna show you guys a simple chest exercise. Very simple. It's a very simple chest exercise. Wait, editor says hi. How are you doing, wait, editor? Brian Macharia says, where are you from? I'm from Africa, a country called Kenya. I'm from Africa, a country called Kenya. Brian, where are you from? Where are you watching me from? Also, wait, editor, where are you watching me from? Actually, where I'm from right now, it's a little bit cold, especially during the morning hours and during the night. During the day is sunny, just a little bit of sun. Wait, editor says, bro, what's that sound? Let me give you an interesting answer. That's a bomb ticking. It's a bomb ticking. Brian Mashara said they're watching from Canada. Oh, wow, that's amazing. How is the weather in Canada? How is the weather in Canada? I know a few individuals from Canada. There's this football player, famous football player, who plays for Bayern Munich. It's a football club in Germany who comes from Canada. I believe you know him. Or it just says sound like pep, pep, pep. Yeah, true. That's the sound. But actually, it's a token, the sound of a token meter. When tokens are below 10, they usually make that sound. When you try and make payment for the token, and then when the payment is below 10, there's a certain token meter number that you have. So it varies based on the payment. So mine is below 10, that's why it's taken, you know. I believe I've answered you fully. White Editor, where are you watching me from? Mr. White Editor. Welcome to the live, guys. Brian Machera says, you are right, bro. You next level from Africa. Yeah, Africa is a different vibe, you know. Africa is special. Africa is special. Which place will you recommend from Canada? Let's say if one was to visit Canada one day, which place will you recommend them to visit and why? You know, personally, I love nature. I like vibing with nature, going to a park, you know, going to a fancy places, just enjoy the weather, the breeze, enjoy the beach, you know. Africa is different. Which place will you recommend? Let's say one was to visit Canada. Which place will you recommend them to visit? Welcome to the live, guys. Make sure to sub and like the video. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Make sure to like and sub. Wait, editor says you know Toronto. No, Brian Machera says you know Toronto. Yeah, I've heard of Toronto. Wait, editor says what is Toronto? Toronto is a place. Toronto is a place, bro. I believe in America. Toronto, Azonto. Brian, what about Toronto? What about Toronto? What about Toronto? It's special. Wait, editor says, bro, show your veins, please. Yeah, I got veins, you know. But right now, it's cold. I hope you can see them. There's a vein right here. Brian Machera says, Are you a boxer? I don't want to call myself a boxer because I've never fought a professional boxing fight. But I know some few boxing moves. I know some boxing moves. But Edisa says same to same veins. Yeah, I believe when you work out for a very long period of time, it reaches a point where your hands just they have veins automatically. I don't know if you can see these veins over here. Your hands develop veins automatically. When you work out for a very long period of time, it reaches a point where your hands develop veins automatically. That was my light messing up, but it's back. Yeah, we are good now. Eh, we are good right now. Brian Machare, are you a boxer? Are you a boxer? What has been your experience in fighting? What has been your experience like in fighting? Like, what's the most memorable fight you've gotten into? What's the most memorable fight you've got into? Right, editor says 20 push. I believe he's trying to say 20 push-ups. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel. Brian Macheria says, I was passing by, continue the same spirit. Thank you, bro. Thanks for the love. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel. White editor wants 20 push-ups. Well, white editor, how many push-ups can you do continuously? White editor says, bro, see you tomorrow. Alright, bro, good willing. What time is it where you're from? What time is it there, white editor? Brian Macheria says, I broke a right jaw, lower. Bro, sorry, man. That's from boxing. That should not have happened to you. How are you feeling right now? And how long ago was that? Breaking the jaw. That's some serious stuff right there. But shout out to you, bro. That should be a moment for the other people to learn. Like, if a person has been to sports, dangerous sports, they deserve the ultimate respect, risking their lives, putting their body on the line. Most of them, they try to provide for their families, they try to make a name for themselves. They're trying to cope up with their maybe trauma, they're trying to master their discipline. Maybe they had a shitty upbringing, so they're trying to curb that anger, they're trying to control that anger. And the only way, the best way to do it is by learning how to fight. They put their body on the line. Injuries happen. Sorry, bro. White Tiger says bye, bro. It's alright, bro. Take care. Brian Machera says you have a great physical body. Says MMA or compact sports you will do. Well, bro, I do play football. I do play football. I believe that has one of the core reasons as to why I have a great body. A great body, you know. hmm So, what are you doing, Brian? Was it boxing, MMA? Was it like jiu-jitsu? What happened? What was the reason behind you breaking the jaw? What was the reason behind you breaking the jaw? Because that's serious right there. What happened, bro? What happened? Brian Machera says professionals are around you, so nothing much. You heal, you're back. True, that's life. And you become a better person. Become a better person, you you learn from where you fall. Actually, that's the best thing about life. You know, I saw this quote from this guy, Patrick Bet David. It says, one of the best things that can happen to a man is when life knocks you down. A woman leaving a man, somebody taking all your money from you, somebody making your life miserable, you getting fired, your wife cheating on you, your wife signing a divorce on you. Those are the best things that can happen to a man because you learn from them and you come back and emerge, you become a better person from them. You learn to make better friends. You learn to make better decisions. That's the best thing that can happen to a person. Rising after you fall. So, Brian, how long did it take before you healed? And did you realize that you had broken the jaw immediately or what happened? Like, do you mind taking us through? Do you mind taking us through? Because some people, I believe, they might have injuries from certain sports. People might have injuries and then they don't realize that they have injuries. Well, I'm going to tell you a little story. Back in the day, I used to play football. As you see this bone right here? This is for my left shoulder. It's bigger. You see, it's somehow bigger than this. The collarbone on my left shoulder is bigger, somehow bigger than the collarbone on my right shoulder. Because something happened. I actually got a fracture, and then my hand couldn't move. So I thought it was just normal pain. And then later on, a few days later, I decided to go to the hospital, and then I learned that I had a fracture. And then I didn't play football again for almost 6 months. Brian Machera says boxing. So was it immediately that you realized that the jaw was broken? Because sometimes maybe you might be feeling the pain. I've not been into your shoes, but sometimes I know you might be feeling the pain and just thinking, oh, it's just regular pain. Somebody hit me hard. I'm gonna be okay within a few days. Was it immediately that you realized that the jaw was broken? Brian Machera says right after the fight. Right, right, right after the fight. Bro realized that the jaw was broken. So how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling right now? And could you please share with us what advice will you give or recommend to someone who wants to do boxing? What advice will you recommend to someone who wants to do boxing? What advice will you recommend to someone who wants to do boxing? Brian, you can share with us what advice will you give to someone who wants to do boxing? Because I believe you've learned a lot from the experience you've had. Brian Macheria says, there stands a dog beside the ring. You should watch some fight. Okay, is your fight in YouTube? I can go watch it. I'm sure I learned some few moves, techniques from you. Was the fight is the fight in YouTube? You can share the handle of the YouTube. You can go there, learn from you, Brian. The moves, techniques. Also learn how fighters prepare for fights in Canada. Mugami says hello. What are you doing? Mugami says hello. Yeah, bro. I'm getting a little workout, just a little pump here with my dumbbells. I'm trying to get a pump. You know, a pump for my arms and my shoulders. I think my shoulders are looking a little bit smaller. So I'm trying to get a pump. Brian Machera says, definitely good. If you are passionate, just do it. Everything is about passion. We are not limited. The sky is the limit. Wow. Wow. Bro, let me screenshot it right there. Let me screenshot that message. Okay, I got it. That's powerful right there. That's powerful. True. Definitely good. If you're passionate, just do it. Everything is about passion. We are not limited. The sky is the limit. Wow, that's powerful there. And true, if you love something, it doesn't feel like work. If you love something, it doesn't feel like work. And the sky is the limit. There's this quote, an Indian quote, I don't remember the exact saying, but it says, if not now, when? If not now, when? Because that decision you've been taking for a very long time, maybe you're trying to think, when are you going to ask the girl out? When are you going to start going to the gym? When are you going to start reading that book? When are you going to start reading the Quran? When are you going to start reading the Bible? When are you going to start going to church? When are you going to start asking for forgiveness? When are you going to start being a better husband? When are you going to start being a better father? When are you going to start acting right? When are you going to start not procrastinating? When are you going to start being true to yourself? Just do it. That's powerful. I like that. I like that, Brian. That's powerful message right there from Brian Machado. The sky is the limit. And no human is limited. Alright, Brian Machado. Which place will you recommend if someone wanted to visit Canada? Which place will you recommend? Let's say there was some guy who wants to visit Canada. Which place will you recommend them to visit and why? The sky is the limit. Brian, you can share with us if someone was to visit Canada today, if someone was to visit Canada today, which part of Canada will you recommend them to visit? One thing I'm sure about is that every country has these beautiful places where even the average person can go and afford a nice time there. Brian Machara says, first, what do you do for a living apart from this? Like you mean YouTube? Well, I'm not yet in the monetization level for YouTube. I'm a college student. What do I do? I'm a student of life. I'm yet to find something, you know. I'm yet to find something. But what I'm doing currently, I'm trying to get better in terms of my communication. I'm trying to do the daily blueprint, that is waking up, saying the affirmations, doing the daily workout, you know, and enriching my mind, enriching my soul. I read the Bible every day. I make sure I read the books, whether it's a novel, each day, you know, mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. That is my goal in life every day. Mind, body, and soul. That is what I do for a living, enriching my mind, body, and soul before I get to the money part. Before I get to the money part, you know. I'm yet to be able to maybe receive super chats, you know. I'm yet to start getting monetized on YouTube. That will come with now, but I'm yet to. Yeah. I'm still a student in Kenya. Yeah. Brian, when was your first fight? Which year was your first fight? Which year was your first fight? You can share that to the audience. Brian Mashera says the three body elements. Wow, yeah, true. I believe every man should find his purpose in this universe. You know, it reaches a point in time where a man, you need to cut off people, you need to stop chasing the girls, you need to stop having those fake friends. You just chill, relax. You go ghost mode, no side chicks, no girlfriend, you're just single, moving on with you and God, you and God. And then you find yourself. And I believe that is a time when your phone will ring less, you'll get less DMs. And that time, you should not be afraid to feel lonely. You should actually be grateful because you're finding your own purpose. You're okay being alone. You're okay with the mundane. Actually, there's this chapter in a book called The Slight Edge. Slight Edge. There's a chapter that says being okay with the mundane because you pay with the mundane. Being okay to the little things which are hard, but they build yourself. Ben Machera says the first fight was 3 years ago. Oh, congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Well, I'm sure there's someone out there who wants to start doing boxing, but they're not sure when to do it, how to do it. Congratulations, man. You're a brave soldier taking on boxing. Which which boxing guy do you look up to? Which famous boxing guy do you look up to? Like, who is your role model in terms of boxing? Whom do you look up to in terms of boxing? Guys, welcome to the live. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel. Which icon in the world of boxing, Brian, did you look up to while coming up, while preparing for your first fight? Alright, editor says I'm back. Welcome back, bro. Welcome back, bro. What's trending? What's trending? What's up? Tell us, what did you learn the few minutes you were away? Alright, editor. Brand Macharia. Iron Mike Tyson. I like the way you put iron before the name Mike Tyson. Brand Macharia says he looked up to Iron Mike Tyson. Wow, that's a phenomenal figure. One of the most interesting things that I've learned about Mike Tyson is that he was rich, he lost it all, and then he regained it all. Isn't that interesting? Imagine losing all your money. You remember you come from nothing. You use all that anger, you use all that frustration. You have a burning desire to be the best. At 20 years, Mike Tyson was a world heavyweight champion. Nothing ever seen. 20 years old, a world heavyweight champion. The guy grew up with trauma. He molded the trauma into boxing. He found a purpose in boxing. He became famous. Got the women. He got the money. He got success. And then losing it all. And then coming back. And then you rekindle the light in that world. And then you gain it all. Isn't that interesting about life? I don't know. Depends on your perspective. To me, that's interesting. That shows anything lost can be found. But there's a proverb also that says, actually, anything, time wasted, what does it say? Anything lost can be found except for time wasted. The guy found his purpose. Shout out to Iron Mike Tyson. He's an inspiration to many boxers out there in the world. I believe so. Guys, I'm having a little headache, Let me do some squats, some leg workouts with my dumbbell here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. What's trending, guys? What's trending? What's trending? Let me know what is trending. What is trending, guys? What's trending? Welcome to the live, guys. Make sure to like and sub to the channel. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel. I'm feeling a little bit worn out, so I'm just going to take a little rest. I'm gonna take a little rest. Alright, guys, thank you for the watching. Make sure to sub and like the video. Until next time, peace, guys.